Right, so it's been a while since I last did a bookshelf tour, right? And I have completely revamped the bookshelf since my last video. So I thought I would do another bookshelf tour. I'm only going to show these bookshelves, not the little bookshelf I have on the side with my potion collection, because I want to do a potion collection video one day. But yeah, there's so much to see here anyway. Obviously I don't have the biggest collection in the world. I'm no Victoria McLean, but I'm happy with the slow growing collection that I do have. So yeah, basically a few months ago I decided to dismantle my bookshelf and completely rearrange it. I had the idea of dedicating a section to each of the Harry Potter books. So that's what I've done on the top two shelves here, excluding obviously the castle. And then the bottom half is other items, other sections, and yeah, I just wanted to show you guys my collection again. So if that sounds good to you, keep on watching, leave a like if you enjoy the video, and subscribe if you're new to watch more of my videos. Okay, let's get on with it. Okay, so we are going to start with the top left section of my bookshelf. This is the Philosopher's Stone section, and is probably the busiest section that I have. I just have a lot of things that are Philosopher's Stone related. So I'll start at the back on top of the box, which for me symbolises a trunk. I have a Hogwarts acceptance letter for Harry Potter, a Harry Potter Funko Pop figure, and in the white box on the left there is Harry Potter's birthday cake made by Hagrid. This is actually an ornament from Geek Gear, but really cool. To the left in front of the birthday cake I have my original copy of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. On top of the book I have a little owl which symbolises Hedwig, and I also have a little broomstick which symbolises the Nimbus 2000. Both of these items I also received from Geek Gear. Next to that I have my Deluminator. This is from Noble Collection. I received it for Christmas. What's really cool about the Deluminator is that it actually works. Well, it doesn't make lights go on and off in the room, but if you click the switch it has a little light in it. Next to that I have a little Hogwarts Express train ticket. This is just a miniature version I think I got from a Geek Gear box. Just in front of that I have 3 chess pieces, all from Geek Gear. I'm no good at chess, I don't know the rules, I don't know the names of all the pieces, but I know the one with the horse is a knight. The red one I am not sure is meant to represent the chess game that Harry and Ron play at Christmas time in Philosopher's Stone, when Hermione says that's totally barbaric. I have 3 more Pop Funkos, Ron, Hermione and Neville. They all have to be in here because it's when we first come across them, so yeah. I also have a Rememberall next to Neville. This is also from Geek Gear, well I should say from Cherry Wallace's box, just like the red chess piece. Yeah, they're from boxes that Cherry Wallace has done through Geek Gear. To the right of Neville I also have a Gringotts key. This again is from Geek Gear. Really awesome item. It has a little tag with a number on it, and every single key has its own number. In front of Neville I have Harry Potter's glasses, also from Geek Gear. I'm just gonna say it now, a lot of items on my bookshelves are from Geek Gear. I've been subscribed to them for a couple of years now, and yeah, they come out with awesome things that I want to display. So next to Harry's glasses I have a Philosopher's Stone. This isn't the Noble Collection Philosopher's Stone, otherwise it would be in the stand. And yeah, it's the Philosopher's Stone section, so I'm really glad I have a Philosopher's Stone to go in it. And finally on the left there I have a Dumbledore chocolate frog card. The next section is all about the Chamber of Secrets. I'm not 100% happy with this section. I wish I had more things to fill it out a bit, but it'll do for now. So right at the back I have a print which was designed by Cherry Wallace and came in one of her boxes. It is of course of the Howler that Harry receives from his mum. In front of that I have a Skelly Grow prop replica. It's actually a water bottle, so it can actually be used, but obviously I bought it for displaying purposes. To the left I have my original copy of the Chamber of Secrets, nearly as old as the Philosopher's Stone book. Hanging over the book I have a necklace which has a mandrake on it, which I got from Geek Gear a while ago, and yeah, you're going to see a theme of me putting things on top of these books. In front of the book I have a mandrake, again from Geek Gear, but really awesome. It actually comes out of the pot. It doesn't scream, it's not interactive like that, like the ones from Noble Collection, but I am perfectly happy with the one I've got. In front of that I have a tiny little Polyjuice potion bottle, because obviously they make Polyjuice Potion in the second film. In front of the Skelly Grow there is the Dobby Pop Funko. On the right hand side I have Tom Riddle's diary. This is the Noble Collection Tom Riddle diary. I'm not perfectly happy with displaying it like this because the cover is getting ever so slightly bent where it's just sat up on its own. So I'm thinking about getting maybe a book stand of some kind so that I could look after it better. But in the meantime, it's standing up on its own. In front of that, I have a Chamber of Secrets coin that I got a few years ago from Geek Gear. Just in front of that, I have a Basilisk Fang, also, surprise, surprise, from Geek Gear, as is the Ford Anglia right at the front there. Moving on, I have my Prisoner of Azkaban section. Let's start right at the back with the Have You Seen This Wizard Serious Black Wanted poster print frame. This little frame, I believe, came from Primark a while ago. I did originally just have it propped up, but it was a bit too small, I couldn't really see it, so I've kind of just stuck it to the wall with blue tack. And it stayed up, so that's staying there. That's where it is now. I have my original copy of Prisoner of Azkaban with a time turner hung over the top of it. This is not the Noble Collection time turner, by the way. This is one I got offline a little while ago. All the mechanisms work, the sand moves around, so it's a good enough version for me. Next to that, I have a little version of the Marauders map that I got years ago. I do have the Noble Collection version, but it doesn't fit in this section, so I'm quite happy to have the little version here. In front of that, I have a crystal ball, which represents the crystal ball gazing that they do in divination in year 3. I also have a butterbeer cup, which is from the Warner Bros. Studio tour. I also have a replica of the letter Sirius Black sent Harry at the end of book 3. In front of that, I have a postcard of Hogsmeade Village. I think this is actually meant to be like a Christmas item. It came in a Christmas Geek Gear box, but since the films always represent Hogsmeade as being snowy, I just thought, why not just keep it up here. The feather in the foreground here is actually a hippogriff feather I got from Litjoy Crate. I actually ordered it online in their shop. I haven't received any of their boxes, although their boxes are really awesome, by the way. To the right there, I have a tiny little Wolfsbane potion bottle. It is empty at the moment. I haven't got around to filling it up. I have it's not a print, it's like I can't remember what it is. It's from Display, something that can be stuck on the wall. It has a Stag Patronus on it, which obviously represents Harry casting his Patronus for the first time. I have a replica of the head in the Night Bus. This again is from Geek Gear, and just behind that I have a Night Bus ticket. So yeah, that is my Prisoner of Azkaban section. On the far right of my bookshelf, I have my Hogwarts sculpture from Noble Collection, just to break up the sections a little bit. One of my most prized possessions. It is my favourite item I've ever bought. Definitely the most expensive item, let me tell you. It's so worth it if you can afford it. It is beautiful. The details are stunning. Yeah, it's just so well made, and it's, like I said, beautiful, and I love it. So yeah, that's there. Going back to the left hand side, underneath my Philosopher's Stone section, I have my Goblet of Fire section. So starting at the back, I have a Goblet of Fire print. This is from Geek Gear. I have the Dragons of the First Tar sculpture from Noble Collection, and yeah, a really awesome detailed sculpture, something I've wanted for a long time. Next to that, I have my original version of the Goblet of Fire. Just in front of that, I have a Quidditch World Cup ticket, which again is from Litjoy Crate, I believe. 2 more Noble Collection items in this section. I have Mad Eye Moody's hip flask, or is it Barty Crouch Jr.'s hip flask? Either way, it's a hip flask that we see in Goblet of Fire. Just in front of that, I have a Potter Stinks badge, which again I think is from Litjoy Crate. I just did a random order one day and ordered a few things, and I thought that was really cool. In front of the dragons, I have a little golden egg. This is again from Geek Gear, one of my favourite items that Geek Gear have done. Next to that, on the left, I have a beautiful Yule Ball ticket, which is from one of Cherry Wallace's box through Geek Gear. I believe this was also designed by Alarm 18, who is a really awesome prop replica designer. And just in front of that is a Polyjuice potion bottle with some water in it. I have another empty miniature potion here, which is of Veritas Serum. And lastly in this section, I have Nagini, a magical creature from Noble Collection, who fits perfectly in this section, as of course this is the first time we come across Nagini. Moving on to my Order of the Phoenix section. So as usual, starting at the back, I have the Black Family Tree print. This came out of a book, I think it was the Artifact Vault, which you'll see later on in this video. I believe that's where it came from. It's one of the vaults anyway, and I wanted to find a way to display it in this section. On to the left, in front of the print, I have a wanted poster for Bellatrix Lestrange, because this is the year that she breaks out of Azkaban. I have a copy of the Order of the Phoenix. This isn't actually my original copy. This is a copy I bought a few years ago, because my original copy of the Order of the Phoenix, the cover was actually the adult version, and it just felt so out of place against all my other books, especially since I lost the slip that it came with, so it just ended up being a black book. So yeah, I thought it was definitely time to repurchase the book so that it was part of a collection. Draping over the top of the book, I have a cork necklace. This is Luna Lovegood's cork necklace. To the left there, I have a scroll of parchment. This actually came in Harry Potter's artifact box from Noble Collection. I believe it is actually a list of all the people who put their names down for the DA, which, if it is, it fits perfectly well in this section. But I've left it tied up like that because it's meant to represent parchment, because this is OWL year. And that is exactly why there is also a quill and some ink in here as well, just to represent exams, because that is a big part of the Order of the Phoenix. To the left, I have, from the same artifact box, I have a photo of the original Order of the Phoenix. This is what Sirius gives Harry in the 5th film, and Mad-Eye Moody gives to Harry in the book. I also have a Mimbless Mimbletonia, which came in one of Cherry Wallace's boxes. This is obviously the plants that Neville carries around with him in book 5. I have my Luna Lovegood Pop Funko in here because this is the year we meet her. And right at the front, I have a little tiny prop replica of the Prophecy, which is a recent item from Geek Gear and is just beautiful. I only wish that it was a little bit bigger, but it's so cute. And yeah, as soon as I got it, I thought, yes, it can go in this section. I need more items for this section, just like my Chamber of Secrets one. I feel like it's lacking in a few bits and bobs. Next up, my HalfBlood Prince section. So starting at the back, I have I suppose an advert for the Weasley's Wizard Weasley's shop. It's a leaflet that advertises all the different things that they do in the shop. I have my original copy of the HalfBlood Prince, on top of which there are Luna Lovegood's Spectra Specs. To the left there, I have an advanced potion making book. This isn't actually an advanced potion making book, obviously. This is actually just a slip that I ordered online. On top of that, I have a little pen that is a Weasley's Wizard Weasley's product. Again, just a random thing that came in Geek Gear a while ago. In between those two books, I have a love potion mug. I don't really know what it's doing there. I just felt like I needed something there to fill up the hole. At the front here, I have two mini mugs. These are both from Geek Gear and are both really pretty mugs. One of Amortentia Love Potion and the other one of Felix Felicis. In the middle there, I have a Noble Collection item. This is the Crystal Goblet. This is what Harry uses to make Dumbledore drink all of the potion when they're in the cave. Just to the right of the HalfBlood Prince book, I have a little memory vial. This again is from one of Cherry Wallace's boxes. I haven't labelled it yet because I don't know what I want to label it with. I know that when Cherry had this in her box, she wanted it to represent the Deathly Hallows, but because of the amount of times that Harry and Dumbledore go into the Pensieve in HalfBlood Prince, I thought it was better suited for the HalfBlood Prince section. I have a print to the left which says Death Eaters are among us. This is from the Daily Prophet, obviously, and a licensed item from Geek Gear. I have actually folded it in half because the whole thing doesn't fit in here. The top half actually has a picture of Lucius Malfoy. My last book section now, the Deathly Hallows section. So you can just about see my Deathly Hallows book. It is nestled within my diadem box. Just in front of it is of course the Ravenclaw Lost Diadem from Noble Collection. I also have an Elder Wand in here. If you're thinking this looks a bit short, that's because it is. This Elder Wand is actually from Geek Gear from a while ago. They had to shorten it because the Elder Wand is actually so long that they couldn't actually fit it in the box. I have a copy of the Tales of Beedle the Bard, which came from a Hogwarts library set, which you will see later on. Another print from the Daily Deathly Prophet, Harry Potter Undesirable #1. At the front I have 3 more items from Noble Collection and 3 Horcruxes. There are actually 4 Horcruxes in this section. The Hufflepuff Cup, the Gaunt Ring and the Slytherin Locket, all in their display cases there. And right at the front I have Bellatrix's dagger, the one that is used to kill Dobby. This is actually the one from Geek Gear. And on the left to this section, blue tacked to the side, is a letter that Lily sent to Sirius Black, I nearly said James for some reason, saying how much a baby Harry loved his broomstick present. So back to the left hand side, underneath my Goblet of Fire section, I have my Hufflepuff section. This is where all of my Hufflepuff edition books are. I have, if you can just see, a Noble Collection bookmark, which is nestled in my Philosopher's Stone book. Just in front I have a little coin which is from Geek Gear from ages ago. It just says loyal on it with a little badger. I have another bookmark on my Goblet of Fire book which just has all sorts of items, a snitch, an owl and a little Hogwarts castle. This is from Geek Gear. I have a beautiful, stunning goblet. I got it for my birthday. Next to that I have a miniature Hufflepuff cup. This is a very old item from Geek Gear. Behind that I have a chocolate frog card of Helga Hufflepuff. Just behind that, well you can't really see it now, is a Hufflepuff mug that I got from Primark ages ago. Coming out of that is a pen from Noble Collection. They have since come out with a different version of this pen where it's all yellow instead of having the green bits, which makes more sense, and I always wondered why the Hufflepuff pen had green on it when it wasn't a Slytherin, it's a Hufflepuff pen. But I'm still happy with the one I've got, it's still a very beautiful pen. Just behind that I have a Hufflepuff notebook or journal. I can't remember where I got it from, I think I got it for Christmas or something. Draping over the top of that I have a Hufflepuff bracelet. Again, another Geek Gear item from ages ago. I did used to wear this all the time, but it kept coming undone, so I thought, well, I might as well display it. Better that than to lose it, because it is still really pretty. You can't really see it here, but I've got a Hufflepuff candle, which I got from Primark ages ago. It's just a really pretty candle. And right at the back, I have a print of a Hufflepuff crest. This was actually hand-drawn from my fiancé. Moving on, I have a sweets section. This is all edible, delightful things from the wizarding world. So at the back I have a print of cauldron cakes. This is from Geek Gear. Next to that I have a book that is of Honeyduke's Scratch and Sniff Adventure. It details all different kinds of sweets that you will find in Honeyduke's, and as the title suggests, you scratch them and you sniff them and then you can smell what the items smell like. I have packaging for Fizzing Whizbees, which I have strategically placed just behind my exploding bonbons because the packaging is empty because I've eaten all of my Fizzing Whizbees. These and the exploding bonbons, the peppermint toads, the chocolate frog and the ever flavour beans and the butterbeer mug are all from the studio tour. In the butterbeer mug or cup, goblet, whatever it is, I have a lollipop. This is an MT Magical Treats. This is from Geek Gear. And in the middle I have another chocolate frog. This is the Noble Collection version. This is not an edible item. I think the frog looks really cool just sat on top of its packaging, just having a good old relax. Next up I have another version of the original series. These are the illustrated editions. Yeah, they're all illustrated by Jim Kay and they are beautiful illustrations. If you haven't got the books, I deeply suggest that you do. They are awesome. There are 2 more Noble Collection items in here. I have a Dobby bookend because these books kept falling down, so I needed a bookend and I got the Dobby one. And I have the coin set, which has a galleon, a sickle and a knut. Right at the front to the right I have a lantern, Hagrid's lantern. This is a little replica from Geek Gear, a really cute thing. The Hogwarts library box, which at the moment only holds 1 book because I'm using the other 2 for displaying purposes. And at the back there I have an owl, which is actually handmade out of paper, would you believe, paper and glue. This was done by someone who was hosting Harry Potter quizzes last year that I went to, and I won one of the quizzes, and yeah, this was the prize I got. So, well, one of the prizes. I also got a bottle of gin. Next up I have a section all about Quidditch. Right at the back I have a Seeker weekly print. This is from Geek Gear. I have a Flying with the Cannons book. It's actually, again, a book cover, a book sleeve. I have another Quidditch World Cup ticket. This is from Harry's Artifact box from Noble Collection. I have a Golden Snitch 3D puzzle. I got this for Christmas. And let me just say, by the way, I thought this would be so difficult to put together, but each puzzle piece actually comes with numbers on the other side, so it's actually really easy to put together and really fun. I have a few broomsticks in here dotted about, which are from Geek Gear from over the years. A Quidditch Through the Ages book. This isn't from the Hogwarts library. This is one that I got ages ago. I think this is the version that J.K. Rowling released years ago for charity. To the left, I have a Chudley Cannons flag, which I got from a Cherry Wallace box. At the front here, I have a bludger, a beater's bat, and a quaffle. All came from the same Geek Gear box, and yeah, really awesome items. I have another much smaller Golden Snitch, which I got from Primark. This was actually a keyring, but I've taken the keyring bit off because I kept using it for Instagram photos. And I also have a Quidditch League print thing, which came out of one of the books, I think the Artifact Vault. Moving on to the bottom layer of my bookshelf now, back to the left hand side, I have just a lot of random books. So starting from the left, I have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the illustrated edition, the Character Vault, the Artifact Vault, the Creature Vault, A History of Magic, Inside the Magic, the making of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Crimes of Grindelwald movie magic. I have my Hufflepuff Wizarding World Gold journal, a Magical Creatures pop-up book, the screenplays of Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, which now looking at them should be the other way around. I have a Newt Scamander scrapbook, a Diagon Alley scrapbook, and a wand book. Yeah, this section wasn't initially this full. A lot of the Fantastic Beasts books in here were actually in another section, but it was just getting a bit too cluttered, what with recently adding a few more items in there, that I thought, why not just put all these random books in the random book section, which is what this is. Next up, I have my Hogwarts Express section. This has been largely unchanged since the last time I did a bookshelf tour. So as you can see, I have a couple of Hogwarts Express replicas. These are both from Geek Gear. One is made out of metal, one isn't. I have a Hogwarts Express money tin, saving for the trolley. I have my London to Hogwarts Express train ticket. This is the one from the Warner Bros. Studio tour. I also have a couple more smaller tickets on the frame just behind it. Speaking of the frame, it is of the Hogwarts Express coming over the viaduct. A very beautiful print that I got a while ago from Geek Gear, one of my favourite prints still that they've done. And draping over the top of that is a Hogwarts Express luggage tag, which came from Harry's Artifact box from Noble Collection. And yeah, like I said, not really changed a lot. This section has had the biggest change recently because, like I said, I had a lot more books in here which I've taken out because I was just finding it so difficult on what to do with this section, really. So at the back I have a book that says The Element Encyclopedia of Magical Creatures. This book isn't actually a Harry Potter or Wizarding World book. This is just what some muggles created. I've had this book for years. It's just a random thing which I think fits quite nicely in here. I have a Newt Scamander journal, a Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them book which came from the Hogwarts library, a Gellert Grindelwald chocolate frog card, two more Pop Funkos in this section. I have Newt Scamander and a Niffler. In the middle of this section I have a Field Notes Magical Creatures book and a map. These both came from Mist and Magic. I have another map hung up to the left which came from one of the Vault's books, the Artifact Vault, I think. And last but not least, the last section in my bookshelf are my character ones. These are not all from Noble Collection, some are from Geek Gear. It is slowly growing over the years. I'm not going to go into too much detail on what ones I have because I am thinking about doing a wand collection video maybe in a couple of months. But yeah, there are some of my character ones. That's it. That's my bookshelf tour. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what your favourite section was if you have one, and what do you think about the whole arranging in book order. One thing that was really annoying me was that I had bits and bobs that didn't really fit in any other section, and I had a few sections in my bookshelves, like mainly at the bottom, that I wasn't happy with, that weren't full enough, that were just random stuff in it, and yeah, I just wasn't happy with it. But when I rearranged it, I discovered that all these little bits and bobs that didn't have a home previously now do, and my bookshelf is the fullest it's ever been. So yeah, like I said, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. If you're new to my channel, then why not subscribe to see more of my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.